Hello and welcome back to Game 2 of the MIT LOL Club Spring Tournament Semifinals Match 2. Oh my god, this is such a mouthful, I can't say the whole thing in one breath. Between Royal Rat Authority and Teammates. Or teammates, I'm not sure. Anyways, Royal Rat Authority has a 1-0 series lead. This time around, Royal Rat Authority is on the red side or purple side, and teammates on the blue side. So far, Yasuo banned away and Volibear banned away, just like before, but this time Darius is taken away from Corvus. He was very effective on that last game, and the Rammus banned once again from Fluffykins, as it has been, as far as I know, every game of this tournament. No one really wants to see what he can do on that champion. Meanwhile, Kindred taken away once again from Ligophile, and we'll have to see what that last ban coming in from Royal Rat Authority is. So far, and that is the Kale taken away from Pinducky. So 5 of the same bans from last game. In fact, the same 3 bans by Royal Rat Authority. The only change is the Darius taken away instead of the Kennen, I think it was, on the side of teammates. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Corvus was huge in that game, picking up, I think, 10 kills over the course of the game, and was just a massive frontliner, getting double kills, triple kills, pretty much every fight. And we'll have to see what sort of style they go for. It was kind of unusual to see Pinducky especially not on a carry champion in top lane, on something like a Malphite, more team fight and like team oriented in general. Green Bay picking up the Fiddlesticks. Okay, I'm very excited for this. I hate dealing with Fiddlesticks, but I am very curious to see how this goes. Fiddlesticks is actually really strong on this patch, as far as I understand, because he got a couple pretty nice buffs. So first of all, Dark Wind, his E, the crows, with the silence, that's really annoying in ARAMs, bounces 7 times instead of 5 now. Also, his passive was replaced with a new passive where if he stands still for 1.5 seconds, he gets bonus move speed for 1.5 seconds. Now, you might ask, why is this at all useful? Well, the channel time on his ultimate is 1.5 seconds. So by channeling his ultimate, he automatically gets his passive. So basically, new Fiddlesticks passive, you get a bunch of bonus move speed for a short period right after your ult finishes channeling. So anyways, enough about Fiddlesticks. That is Sivir and Janna picked up for Royal Rat Authority. I do like the Janna pickup, and the Sivir is just a very solid champion, has a lot of damage, and especially backline damage, more so than most ADCs, especially short-range ADCs, just because of her Ricochet and her Boomerang Blade. And also, of course, her ultimate, very good at getting into and out of fights. Meanwhile, Janna taken away from Fluffykins. Fluffykins has really preferred that Janna pick when he can get it. And Janna, just a generally pretty strong support right now anyways, provides so much peel and really buffs up your ADCs with her shield. Meanwhile, this time, Rise picked up by Kaleido might be taking that and might be giving it over to Pinducky. Pinducky has really liked to pick up that Rise in the top lane, has been very effective on it so far. And meanwhile, Soraka picked up by Fluffykins, one of the most annoying support champions to deal with, though they did thankfully revert the Grievous Wounds nerf, so Grievous Wounds now applies on all healing, not just self-healing. So if you do ignite someone, it makes it harder for Soraka to just massively heal that champion. Meanwhile, Ligophile, going back to that Sejuani, was very good with those ultimates, always catching about 2 or 3 people in pretty much every fight, and really doing a good job of setting up the fights with the Sejuani. Now, Noble Fire getting the Kennen. This was banned away last game. I like this. Has really been spamming this champion, with good reason. Kennen got a huge buff on the 6.9 patch, where basically there's no more RNG associated with that ult, the Kennen ult. Basically, it hits everyone within range with every tick of damage, and it does do less damage if you've been hit more than about 3 times, I think, by the Kennen ult, but that's enough to get your stun down. So basically Kennen very strong in this patch. That ultimate is huge for team fighting and everything, and that is a Victor grabbed by Pinducky, and the Ezreal for Cruiser. So expecting the Victor to go over to Kaleido and Pinducky to take that Rise in the top lane. Yeah, there's the trade. And a Gnar for Corvus. That's very interesting. Okay, this is a really, really, really scary team fight from Royal Red Authority. So yeah, we'll get into that now, I guess. I do like the Gnar for Corvus. I'm curious to see how he'll do. I think that with the buff to Black Cleaver, it's a lot cheaper now. It helps out Gnar quite a bit, because he does really like to get that Black Cleaver and pump out the damage with the Hyper Procs and so on before jumping into team fights and ulting everyone into a wall. So yeah, let's talk about these comps for a sec. Very magey comp from teammates, honestly. Everyone can kind of be is some form of like caster, except for Soraka, who's I guess a healer caster. I don't even know what to say. They do have it'll be interesting. They are not very tanky, which I'm a little bit concerned about. I think they'll all die pretty quickly if to like AoE damage, but if they can kite out fights or something, they do have a lot of damage themselves. This is a very, very high damage comp, and I think they really need Fluffykins to stay safe and heal up the whole team constantly. Because yeah, you have triple AP threats between Pinducky, Kaleido, and Green Bay, and then Cruiser to pump out deeps with the Ezreal, with the Mirror Mana, and the Iceborne Gauntlet trying to kite it out. We'll have to see how it works out. I'm not really the biggest fan of this comp. I think they're way too squishy. And I think at some point, Lygophile and Corvus will just be way too tanky for them to deal with. On the other side of the table, the Royal Red Authority has a really scary team fighting comp. So they have the Sivir move speed to get into fights or get out of fights, as the case may be. And they have 2 different really good engage sources. The Kennen on Noble Firen, with no Janna on Fluffkins this time around to knock him back out of the fight. And then Lygophile on this Sejuani. We saw Lygophile able to hit 2 or 3 people from range with the Sejuani ults all game last game, and until we see anything else, we kind of expect to see the same thing. And meanwhile, Noble Firen going to look for those flanks on Kennen, and those big ultimate engages. This is a really scary team fight. And I think teammates will have to play very carefully and really spread out in team fights and kite to survive. And then not even without the Sejuani and Kennen, they still have the Gnar, also another really great source of engage or secondary engage. If he can find the right opportunity and jump in with that huge Gnar into the wall, engage. I think this is a really good comp for Royal Rat Authority. They have tremendous engage, and if things start to go wrong, they also have really good potential to disengage with the Janna and the Sivir move speed. So we talked about fighting. I really think that the fights will go in favor of Royal Rat Authority, at least 5v5. Skirmishing is not so bad, though, from Royal Rat Authority. Rise really loves the skirmish type fights where he can just pump out insane amounts of damage onto single targets. The lane matchups, we have a Rise into a Gnar. So I think that... So we've seen Pinducky really be able to bully out melee champions with his Rise. However, Gnar is not really melee. Gnar has that range and is probably going to be pretty safe in this lane. At least that's my guess. Though I've got to be honest, I've never played this lane or really seen it all that much. And I think Pinducky does have to be careful of Corvus actually being able to charge up that Gnar bar and like combo with Sejuani coming in with like a really nice gank. We'll have to watch for that. Meanwhile, Kennen into Victor, hard to say how that goes. I think that Victor not necessarily the strongest early laner, but then once he gets his first upgrade of his Hex Core, he has really good wave clear, and is able to start pushing the lane and maybe bullying a little bit. Kennen should be pretty safe though, but his wave clear is not so good. And in particular, it's not safe. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we have Soraka Ezreal against Sivir Janna. I think Sivir Janna is the stronger lane, though neither Sivir or Ezreal are really known for their strong laning phase. Sivir really is just known for her mid-game and her team fighting presence. Ezreal, very good at kiting, but he needs a couple items to really get there, notably Muramana and Iceborne Gauntlet. The junglers, meanwhile, we saw what Legophile could do on the Sejuani last game, and he didn't really try to gank a ton early into the game, but as the game progressed, still had a huge presence in that game. Green Bay on Fiddlesticks instead of that Elise this time around. Got caught out quite a bit on the Elise. We'll have to see how it goes from on Fiddlesticks. Elise has a lot of tools to get out of those sorts of catches. Fiddlesticks has not so much. Fiddlesticks can defend himself quite well against one champion, but against two, he doesn't have two Terrifies. He doesn't have two Fears. Just the one. Now we do see... So we don't see a 5-man group this time around, at least, from Royal Rat Authority. Last time they grouped as 5 and invaded that brush that actually they have 2 people sitting in right now. Actually bringing Noble Firing up to support them as well. If there is an invade, it will be a 4v4. Both top laners are, in fact, in the top lane. There are a few pings going on, but it doesn't look like we'll have any crazy invades like we did last time, where a whole ward got killed and there was a volatile spiraling worth of damage. It's pretty crazy, yeah. Oh wow, and we do see in terms of itemization, Dark Seal picked up for Noble Firing, so very confident on this Kennen. And I mean, it's not a bad choice. You're not going to get it that much extra out of the Doran's Ring because you don't make any use out of the mana regen because you're a manaless champion. So just going to grab that Dark Seal. I honestly would have liked to see a refillable potion though, because the Dark Seal gives your potions extra efficacy, and I mean, refillable is really efficient after about just 1 or 2 backs, though it is less sustain at level 1, I suppose. In any event, we will have to see how that Dark Seal works for him and whether or not he can get some stacks going. So we see pretty standard jungle starts once again, and just bit of trading. Corvus does get the early level 2 onto in the top lane, but Pinducky going to get level 2 off of just one more minion. Meanwhile, Cruiser and Fluffykins pushing up the wave, but not much going to come of it. I don't really expect a ton of action in the spot lane. Soraka can be pretty oppressive, but Ezreal doesn't really do that much unless he lands like every Q. Fluffykins actually taking some poke, but I mean, he's Soraka, so he can just heal everything up. Green Bay looking for a gank in the top lane, but gets spotted out on the ward, and probably good that he didn't go for anything because Legophile was right there for the counter as needed, and Green Bay actually just going to pick up the Scuttle Crab. Oh no, Scuttle Crab gets smited away. Now Legophile and Green Bay actually fighting a bit in this top lane. I don't think this is something that Lygophile wants. Green Bay getting the better of that trade, actually. Now Kaleido looking for something onto Lygophile. Lygophile just going to back off and take his Raptors. But Green Bay actually is... Or sorry, Lygophile actually did smite away that Scuttle Crab, so nice little steal there, knowing where Green Bay was and just messing with his jungle a little bit. Though, I mean, Fiddlesticks is going to be pretty okay in the jungle. Actually, nice trade for Kaleido onto Noble Firen. It's quite a bit of damage down there. Well, a bit of trading in the bot lane. Cruiser takes a bit of damage, but it's all going to be healed up because it's Soraka. Kaleido so far actually winning out in terms of at least damage in this mid lane. And you have to think that it's only going to get better from there once he gets that upgraded Hex Core. And I mean, Kaleido does main this champion. Kaleido's very good at this Victor. Victor did get some changes, so less additional burst, but more sustained damage. The explosion on your laser is a bit delayed from what it used to be, so a bit harder to get both ticks of damage down once you have that upgraded Hex Core. Meanwhile, the ultimate ticks much less frequently, but for quite a bit more damage. Now, Green Bay looking for a gank into the bot lane, and Potential 5 and Noble Firen have no idea this has happened. Noble Firen is actually taking a lot of damage and is going to go down. That's first blood picked up by Green Bay. A nice gank, and now Potential 5 going to go down. A double kill picked up with that drain. Nice gank by Green Bay, and this time teammates coming out to that early lead. And now they're going to be able to, they're going to go for this really early dragon. Because they have Green Bay on this Fiddlesticks, they might be able to do this. Yeah, this is going to go completely uncontested. Green Bay can just tank this dragon for days between the Soraka healing and his own healing from his drain. It's going to take quite a while, but that dragon is going to go to them at about 6 minutes, very early into this game. Now, Pinducky Corvus trading a little bit, going to take down that pink ward, but that is the dragon finally going down to Green Bay. Early pickup, and this is the mountain dragon. This is the dragon that gives you bonus damage to objectives, so future dragons will be easier, as well as Rift Herald and Baron and turret taking. We'll have to see if they make good use of it, I guess. 10% bonus damage is not bad. You take things more than 10% faster. No, less than 10%, 9% faster. Sorry, my math is gone ever since I stopped doing math. Anyways, really nice gank by Green Bay and the dragon pickup. So a nice early lead, at least, for teammates. Lygophile going to find this ward in his jungle, pick it up. Culls picked up by both AD carries, actually. The tier also there for the Ezreal, so going to start stacking that up. Nice gold spike, really. So both ADCs really just looking to farm up here. So ward going down. Yeah, bit of a lull in the action after that early gank. So far, nothing too unusual in terms of itemization. Green Bay looking for that Runic Echoes. Just a Smite Stone picked up so far by Lygophile. Corvus is looking for that Black Cleaver. I do like this. It got buffed pretty significantly, and I mean, this is why we see the Gnar back, in my opinion. Let's see. A bit of trading down in this bot lane right now. Pinducky maybe looking for something onto Corvus, but Corvus just gonna jump out and be very safe as Gnar, because I don't know, it's kind of hard to punish Gnar in lane. Just given that he has I mean, he's ranged, and he can always just leap out when he wants to. Pinducky is going to pop that ultimate, though, looking for damage onto Corvus. Corvus actually taking a fair amount, and Corvus could be going down, forced to burn that flash. Nicely timed by Pinducky. Now, Pinducky, though, does have to be careful. Oh, Corvus is super low. Now, Green Bay actually going to pick up the kill. Flashes in with the Terrify, Dark Wind, and the Drain. That's now 3 kills to 0. All of them onto this jungle Fiddlesticks. And a much better start to the game this time around from teammates than last time. You know, taking a lead and actually holding on to it. And just well set up, though, by Pinducky, able to get the massive trade onto Corvus and get the flash out. It was not hard for Green Bay to just grab that kill on the back. It did not quite have that Narbar fully stacked. Now Green Bay looking for Ligophile, going to get the Terrify down. That is the TP coming in, and now Green Bay is the one who's caught the TP, or the ultimate from Noblefire, and picking up the kill. Now Kaleido has to back off, and that is a return kill, the first kill of the game for Royal Rat Authority. A nice catch there. Ligophile and Noblefire turning straight back around onto Green Bay, and I mean, Green Bay is a squishy Fiddlesticks. That's... You don't really have a lot of defenses against that. You can defend yourself against one champion, but more than one champion, there's not much you can do. And importantly, just no hesitation there, and I really like that play from Noblefire and picking up that early kill onto the Kennen, and it looks like Noblefire is actually going to rush the Hextech Protobelt. I really like this. Oh, misses everything there. Whoops. I mean, as Kennen, you often find yourself wishing you had a dash, or just being generally flash reliant. Oh man, Corvus could be in a bit of trouble, but actually going to get the Gnar up, but does not get the stun to the wall and misses the stun with a W, going to have to back out. Another nice trade for Pinducky up there in the top lane. Now Ligophile, Green Bay going to find Ligophile in this brush, but Ligophile actually turning it back around. Noblefiring looking for the engage, and they're going to get another kill onto Green Bay. A really nice turnaround, and now Noblefiring going to have to back off. That is the TP from Pinducky coming in. A whole bunch of flashes burned over the Baron wall. Now Kaleido is the one in trouble. One hit from that doesn't quite go down. Now Cruiser is being chased away, and he's going to go down to that Boomerang Blade. Ligophile somehow still alive. Meanwhile, Noblefiring still getting chased around by Pinducky, but is able to get away, and that's just the one kill onto Cruiser at the end of that chase. Really nicely done by the other Noblefiring, actually. Flashing over Dragon Wall with a chase, and kills one and almost kills 2 people, in fact. Really good turnaround there. And I mean, 3 early kills for Green Bay, but since then, 3 really nice turns by the team of Royal Rat Authority, and they're completely back in this game. Just down by the 1 dragon, but ahead in gold and even in kills, and that's 2 kills onto the Kennen. You have to think this is starting to become a pretty scary Kennen. Now, Fluffykins could be in trouble here. Down pretty low. Potential 5 forced to burn the ult. Actually, Potential 5 really low. Green Bay looking for the gank. That is the Dark Wind onto Noblefiring. Green Bay looking for something. Gets hit by the Tornado. Gets the drain down, and that is Potential 5 finally going down. A lot of trade damage, though, from Noblefiring. Here's Green Bay coming in with the ultimate onto Noblefiring. Noblefiring now is going to die. That's a double kill for Green Bay. Overcommit from the Sivir. There was a Soraka there. You don't really want to run in 1v3 against a Soraka. In any event, a nice gank timing. Potential 5 ulting in not really the best spot, getting hit by several turret shots, and easy cleanup for Green Bay. However, it is a bit concerning to me that Green Bay has gotten all 5 of the kills for teammates. Though, as I say that, they are going for that dragon, and Green Bay again going to be able to tank this up. Noblefiring actually coming with the ultimate, gets the ult off. Now Kaleido gets hit by Ligophile's ult. Kaleido going to go down. Now Green Bay is the next victim. Noble Fire getting another kill, 5 to 5, and this dragon actually going to go to Royal Rat Authority. Good call by them, realizing that teammates would turn straight onto Dragon, and you know, Fiddlesticks can tank that forever, but not when there's an enemy team there as well. Good ultimate, good turn by Noble Fire and Ligophile, and a really good ult straight onto Kaleido. 2 quick kills and a dragon, and about a 1k gold lead now for Royal Rat Authority after not necessarily the best early game. So we do see the Hextech Proto Belt finished onto Noble Fire, and we did see him actually use it to try to get closer with that ultimate. And again, I really like this item build on Kennen, and now looking for what looks to be an Abyssal Scepter, which is a great choice against this triple AP comp that teammates have. You're just going to be very tanky. That gives 60 MR now, which is, as far as I know, actually the most MR of any item in the game right now. I think even with ZZ Rot Portal, Noble Fire and taking a fair amount of damage, actually going to return the trade, getting a lot of damage down onto Cruiser and Fluffykins, both of them down below half HP. And not really taking much damage in return. Kaleido does pick up his blue buff in the meantime. It's going to be really good for this Victor to have. But it is kind of a scary lane. Noble Fire already 3-0-1 on this Kennen, and about a 10 CS advantage as well. Green Bay able to pick up that pink word. Looks like Green Bay's also working on an Abyssal. It could also be an Hourglass. Actually, for both Green Bay and Noble Fire, it could be an Hourglass. It's hard to remember, like... Phoenix Codex builds into pretty much everything these days, but I am expecting an Abyssal Scepter, certainly on the Kennen against the 3 AP. Rift Herald is going to be picked up again by Royal Rat Authority, and this is going onto the Gnar, onto Corvus, and again, a really good choice here. And that's going to be on Corvus until 35 minutes, pretty much the whole game. Corvus going to bounce out of well, right now, Rift Herald pit. Not really going to be in any danger from this Fiddlesticks. And yeah, for the next 20 minutes, this Gnar, who, you know, is going to be your preferred split pusher anyways for Royal Rat Authority, going to have this Rift Herald buff that makes him really good at dueling. And that's going to be really nice, because so far Pinducky has really been getting the upper hand in these fights, and will be until there's some magic resist itemized onto Corvus. Though I'd be really surprised if Corvus isn't getting an MR item next time. Green Bay is looking for a gank. Fluffkin's actually getting very low. Here's the ultimate from the Fiddlesticks. That's Fluffkin's going down before everything, though. Noble Fire going to get out. Potential 5 getting drained, but Green Bay, the one in trouble from Corvus, going to go down to the Boomerang. Pinducky coming in with a TP. Gets the kill onto the Janna. Now Corvus is the one, smashes Pinducky into the wall. Pinducky going to not quite go down, and actually gets the trade kill. Double kill for Pinducky. Noble Fire coming in from the back with the ultimate. Picks up the kill onto Pinducky. Overall, 3 for 2. TP's... Oh no, 3 for 3 now. Kaleido getting the kill onto the Kennen. Kaleido gonna get out. No, Corvus comes in, gets that kill. 4 for 4. What is this fight? Now Ligophile just gonna have to back off. Doesn't even finish that turret. That was an insane fight. Oh my god. So, I mean, it all started with Noble Fire and Potential 5 looking for engage onto the bot lane of Cruiser and Fluffykins, and Soraka Ezreal, and they actually completely won that fight. Green Bay, by the time Green Bay ulted in, Fluffykins was already down. And actually Green Bay wasn't even able to get a kill. Noble Fire and Potential 5 both were able to get out for the time being, at least. And then the TP was much earlier from Corvus. However, then Pinducky came in with some cleanup and was actually able to pick up 2 nice kills on the back of that fight. Basically re-engaging onto the really low Noble Fire, and who, for some reason, went back in. Probably shouldn't have. Overall, 4 for 4. Not much gain from either side, though the turret does fall. It was pretty low. Actually, Noble Fire going in now onto Pinducky. Pinducky is very dead here. Nice play there by Noble Fire. It actually goes straight through the pink ward for that. Pinducky in kind of an awkward position there and just dies. Ligophile looking for engage. That is the Sivir ult. Now Green Bay actually in quite a bit of trouble. Has to flash away. That's the slow again from Corvus. Going to get another proc of the Hyper and gets the kill onto Green Bay, just chasing him down. Another pick for Royal Rat Authority. And they've been really good both games of setting up these mid-game picks. Actually, Noble Fire, and as I say that, Noble Fire is the one getting picked. Almost going down. A huge ult from Ligophile hitting 3 members. Re-engaged onto Fluffykins. That is the wish out from the Soraka, but no more kills going to be picked up here. I think Royal Rat Authority really just wants to back off at this point. Pinducky is already back. And Corvus is the one who really needs to be careful here. Gets silenced there. Actually, Corvus... Oh, a beautiful ultimate by Potential 5, keeping Corvus alive. And the Tornado to stop the chase. Ooh, that was close. Corvus nearly dying there. Was pretty aggressive there. And Pinducky came back into that fight for the re-engage. They may net themselves a turret. No, it looks like they're going to have to back off. Almost netting themselves a turret off of that re-engage. It does look like Green Bay going to pick up his own blue buff. So that means Kaleido isn't going to have a blue buff, however. And that is another dragon actually being picked up on the side of Royal Rat Authority. So despite the Fiddlesticks being on the side of teammates, they've only gotten that first really early dragon. And now that's a mountain dragon. Yeah, that's a mountain dragon and a fire dragon. Fire, the one that gives you tons of damage. On Royal Rat Authority. So they don't quite have the same vice grip over dragon as they did last game. They did give up that really early one, but since then, teammates really hasn't seemed to get much this game. Just a few more or less even team fights after some really nice early plays. So now that we have a bit of extra time to talk, gonna touch on itemization briefly at least. Corvus did finish that Black Cleaver, which kind of what I expected, and looks like he's working on a Spirit Visage next, which is going to be really nice. Just getting some extra sustain plus the magic resist really important against this 3 triple AP comp. Plus Ezreal has some amount of magic damage, plus all of Soraka's damage even is magic. I really do like the Aegis picked up by Potential 5 working on a Banner of Command. That's going to be really nice, getting the side wave pressure. Oh, Fluffykins! That is not somewhere you wanted to walk. Gets completely caught up, and now Kaleido going to be the next victim. A nice ult over the wall from Noble Fire, and that's 2 kills picked up for none. Now Green Bay looking maybe for an ult, but he does not want this. Now Pinducky going to have to flash away, and he's going to go down to Corvus. Another kill picked up on this Snar. 3 for none. It looks like the top lane inner turret going to go down now. Green Bay looking for the 1v5 ultimate. Goes in, but just going to get gnarred into the wall. Doesn't get anything for that, and that's the turret going down. Nice reaction there by Corvus and the rest of Royal Rat Authority to that Fiddlesticks ult, and not really the best advised play by Green Bay. 1v5. But I guess at this point you just do whatever you can. It is getting to desperation time for teammates, as we have a 5k lead now for Royal Rat Authority. Oh, Fluffykins. The cheeky recall stop. Actually, Fluffykins might be regretting that decision now. Corvus actually the one who's going to regret this. Nice bait by Fluffykins. Corvus going way too deep and actually dying. That's a pretty big mistake. A lot of pings onto Baron. Not sure if they're going to go for this, though. They don't really have someone to tank it, and I think at this point, a bit too late to go for Baron, so I guess a bit of miscommunication there. Some people wanted it the Baron call and others just didn't. So not too much going to come from that pick. Corvus is back up in just about 10 seconds and does have teleport available if he does want to use that, and that is a lot of wards in that blue side jungle, blue side top jungle, top blue side jungle, whatever. So he has a lot of choices of places to TP to. Actually, those might be blue trinket wards, I don't know. Nope, those are some regular wards, so you can TP to those. Yeah, it would be kind of broken if you could teleport to a blue trinket ward, because then you can place your own ward and TP to it. That would be a bit silly. I'm glad that's not a thing. Green Bay looking to clear a ward, doesn't actually... no, he gets it. Does take a fair amount of poke from Noble Fire, but just going to get all of that HP back from the Soraka. Actually, a fair amount of poke going down from both of the Boomerang champions, the Gnar and the Sivir. But with a Soraka pretty poke resilient team, Pinducky has to go down to the bot lane to clear out that wave. That is a banner minion. That's Steve. And I'm sorry, Pinducky, but you really can't kill Steve. You can keep casting spells at Steve, but Steve is not going to take any damage from... Actually, shit, I missed a fight. 2 kills already, a really nice engage from Royal Rat Authority. Going to get 2 kills, 3 kills now, picked up by Royal Rat Authority. A really nice fight for them, 3 for none, and we'll see what they get off of this. Probably going to be able to pick up that bot lane inner turret, and also looking to push that mid lane with Ligophile. Meanwhile, Noble Firen wasn't even close by. He's just shoving up that top lane. A nice, really good fight for Royal Rat Authority. Sorry guys, I missed it because I was too busy talking about Steve. Now it's about 7,000 gold in favor of Royal Rat Authority. Potential 5, looking for Pinducky. That's Green Bay coming in with the ult. A really good re-engage. Pinducky and Green Bay getting a ton of damage down. Corvus looking for the Gnar. Gets a huge Gnar into the wall, but it's not enough as he goes down. A triple kill for Green Bay. 8-7-1 on this Fiddlesticks. And such a good turn. 5v4 by teammates onto Royal Rat Authority. Without Noble Fire in there to help with that fight, they had really no way to do anything about that engage. With Noble Fire in there, they probably could have turned that off of that really nice Gnar, and actually a Baron call coming out from teammates. They do have to be very careful. Noble Fire does have his ultimate and his Hextech Protobelt available. That Baron going to do a lot of magic damage, and that is Noble Fire actually going in with the Hourglass, with the ultimate. Ligophile, Noble Fire picking up the 1 kill. Ligophile going down as well. A double kill for Kaleido. They're not going to be able to pick up this Baron. 2 for 1, but they do not get the Baron. Now Corvus re-engaging onto Kaleido and Fluffykins. Gets the Hyper Proc down, gets the kill onto Kaleido, gets the double kill now. Looking for Cruiser. That's a triple kill for the Gnar. Huge turnaround by Cruiser. Baron Poke doing so much work, and now Noble Fire looking for the 4th kill of the fight. Green Bay not going to last long. That's the Boomerang Blade getting the kill. Great play there by Corvus, TPing into Baron Pit and chasing down for 3 kills all by himself. What a play, what a turn from Corvus, and they're going to get themselves the first inhibitor of the game now. And, you know, after a few questionable plays where they got caught out in that bot side jungle, and then the 2 for 1 at Baron, what a great turnaround by Corvus. And meanwhile, Ligophile working on yet another dragon. That is the second fire dragon of the game. Or sorry, Infernal Drake, if you're so inclined. I don't even know. And no contest there. Corvus going to help out just a bit. And they're going to pick up that dragon. still just that one dragon. Green Bay looking for the ultimate, going to engage, but a great ult by Potential 5, knocking him straight out of the fight. Now Corvus looking for the big engage, but gets silenced immediately by the Straka. Lygophile hitting 3 with the Sejuani ult. Noblefire goes down immediately to Pinducky. Noblefire getting the other kill onto Cruiser with the ultimate, but now in a lot of trouble himself, going to go down. Double kill for Pinducky now. And now Lygophile going to be the next victim. Flashes away now. Corvus has to jump back out over the wall. 2 for 1 so far. Corvus, though, a bit boxed in. Fluffykins flashing away. Corvus going to go down. 3 for 1, 3 for 2 as Lygophile picks up Fluffykins on the back end, but now Kaleido is chasing in and might... Nope, Lygophile going to queue out as Sejuani. It's hard to talk. 3 for 2 fight in favor of teammates. A nice engage. Well, hard to say really what happened. There was a lot of chasing there. Green Bay went in with the ultimate, but got blown out immediately by Potential. A really nice Monsoon, but then Noblefire in the ADC, the Sipper, getting caught out by Pinducky and blown up immediately. The other Noblefire coming in the back is able to kill Cruiser, but then goes down himself immediately as the rest of the team turned on him. And then in the chase, just 2 more went down. Corvus on the Gnar and Fluffykins on the Soraka got 2 poked down, and then an easy cleanup kill for Lygophile, who somehow got out of that fight alive. Whew, lots of crazy fights. It is a 6k gold lead for Royal Rat Authority, but the fights are really close right now. I mean, I didn't really expect this at the beginning when I saw their comp with no tank line and 3 mages, but really they've been able to make it work with some really nice zones between the Victor and the Fiddlesticks, and just a ton of burst from Pinducky on this rise. Green Bay getting a little bit caught out by Corvus, actually going to go straight down to Noblefire and Corvus, and now Lygophile coming in with the engage. The ultimate doesn't get the stun with that Glacial Prison, so they're going to have to back off, but meanwhile Noblefire in the mid lane does pick up that mid lane turret. Another turret going down, 7-2 now. A pretty big turret advantage with both top and bot pushing in. Are they going to go for this Baron, or at least try to bait it? There is a ward that spotted them. I don't think they realize that there's that ward right there, so teammates does know this, and they are looking to contest. Potential 5 does find those wards, but well, that's quite a bit of warding. Corvus looking to play interference, as is Potential 5. Pinducky Cruiser coming in for the engage. Baron does go down, so they don't get in time. Corvus is Mega Gnar looking for the engage. Noblefire coming in with the ultimate. Fluffykins getting very caught. Actually gonna make it out. Green Bay ults in onto Noblefire. Gets a lot of damage down, but now Green Bay... Oof, Lygophile actually still alive. No, it's Corvus that went down. Meanwhile, Pinducky picks up the Sivir, but is going to go down in return to this... Or is he? He's not actually going to go down. That is 3 kills for just the 2. Another 3 for 2 teamfight victory. Narrow teamfight victory for teammates over Royal Rat Authority. They just keep getting these favorable fights in the jungle where they can really set up their zones. And so far, they've been able to hold Royal Rat Authority at bay despite the lead and despite all of the dragons, especially both fire dragons. And in that fight especially, the Cannon Ult only really got onto 2 members. And I don't know, it was just so hard to engage. The carries from teammates were pretty split apart, which, I mean, it's what they have to do to win this game, to win these fights. And they made it work in that fight. That being said, they weren't really able to get much out of that team fight win. Still a 6k gold lead, and 2 Baron buffs still up for Royal Rat Authority. Corvus does have the teleport. Oh, Corvus face checking onto Green Bay and Fluffykins, but probably going to be okay. I don't know if they can fight him 2v1, to be honest. It's a very strong Gnar. With Banshees, Warmugs, and now working on a ZZ Rot portal. Pinducky getting a bit poked down, has the Guardian Angel. I do like that itemization choice from Pinducky, and this is a pretty big rise, honestly. Oh, that's the engage from Lygofile. Ultimate catches two. Fluffykins goes down immediately. Pinducky has the GA pop. Green Bay going in with the Crowstorm, gets a kill, but now Noblefire with a huge cannon ult gets another kill. Kaleido going to have to run for his life. 2 down from both sides. Pinducky now turning onto... Oh my god, what a turn from Pinducky with that GA! They get 2 more kills. That's actually a 4 for 2 for teammates. Now Lygofile has to run for his life. Going to be able to get out. But now another teamfight win for teammates. And they might finally be able to pick themselves up a dragon. And wow, teammates really making these teamfights work somehow, just against the odds. And they are going to pick up that dragon. They're the 3rd mountain dragon this game. Going to go in their favor. So now they have 2 mountain dragons to the 1 of Royal Rat Authority. And it looks like they are able to keep their top lane inhibitor alive despite the pretty large minion wave that had built up. So just a 5k... Oh, Green Bay, you can't quite do that. 5k gold lead for Rat Authority. Green Bay discovering the hard way that you cannot actually use Hextech Protobelt to go over that wall. At least I don't think you can. I would be very salty as an ADC main if you could. There's some wards cleared out by Fluffykins and Cruiser. Cruiser does have that mirror mana, working on an Infinity Edge actually, so going to have quite a bit of auto attack damage. Probably good for him, though it does... You know, we'll see how it works out for him, I guess. I usually don't get that item because I feel like my damage on Ezreal is not really coming from crits, but maybe I'm just silly. I don't really know. It does have the blade. I do think that a Last Whisper would be kind of useful because there isn't really... Well, I don't know. There isn't a ton of armor built on the side of Royal Rat Authority, but their base armor... There are a lot of stats. Last Whisper at this point I think would actually be damage efficient, even though it only scales off of... No, don't listen to me. I'm completely wrong. Without any armor items, I wouldn't get a Last Whisper, I don't think. I don't really remember what counts as a base stat or not a base stat, but I don't think... I'm pretty sure armor scaling counts as a base stat. So anyways... This has been quite a crazy game. Teamfights have actually been going in favor, somehow, of teammates. They've just been able to get some really good turns down. Steve up in the top lane going to go down real fast. Actually looking for the Fnatic brush gank. Lygofile playing the bait maybe over by blue buff. Actually just going to pick up the blue buff. Trying to bait teammates into coming up towards pushing up in this lane. Does not look like they're gonna fall for it though. Oof. You just gotta be patient. Actually going to engage onto Fluffykins, and Fluffykins is dead. Nice pick. Now Pinducky trading some damage back onto the rest of the team, but he goes down immediately. Huge engage from Noblefire, and Kaleido forced to Hourglass, but Kaleido is going to go down immediately. Now Corvus getting that back onto Cruiser. That's another kill. Green Gate Bay going to be the last one to the fall. That's the ace. That's the game for Royal Rat Authority, and they are going to win this series 2-0. What an engage from Noblefire. A great game, and that is the surrender. Beautifully played by Royal Rat Authority, winning that last team fight finally. GG 2-0 to Royal Rat Authority. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I had a lot of fun. I hope so did you. And we will be back with the finals at some point, hopefully.